Hello and welcome to the latest edition of You Heard It Here with your host, Matthew Grover. It's been a little while since my last episode. I had a little hiatus due to some family issues, both sides, my side, my wife's side, both. It's good to be back, though. First things first, there's new intro music for the show, and I want to thank Jason Baker for this. He threw it together for me. Sounds great. I really enjoyed it. I hope you do too. This episode here, we're going to do a recap, and I'm going to share some of my impressions of the game show event that took place in Lithuania, some upcoming match predictions, and, of course, the buy round, save round segment. So, first of all, the Game Show Global Esports Cup took place in Lithuania last week, and Envy was the eventual winner of the event. This event, every match in this event was a best of three, which means there was a lot of Counter-Strike being played, and that's awesome, especially this early in the season. That's awesome. Envy didn't think that there was any doubt that they were going to win the whole entire time. I think the only team that really could have given them a run for their money in the finals would have been Astralis, but Astralis didn't make the finals, so Envy wins the event, looked really good, no surprises. Astralis, they played very well. However, due to getting knocked down when they did, losing matches here and there, they did not make it to the finals. They did win the consolation match, though, for third place. G2 looked really good. The entire weekend, to be quite honest with you, they looked pretty good. And Dignitas is starting off 2016 in a really impressive style. They made the finals. They got beat up a little bit in the finals, but they did make the finals. And I think they're playing a really good brand of Counter-Strike right now. Look out for them. They're kind of playing carefree, just doing what they want to do, and in most instances it's working. Now, that's all the specific European teams I want to talk about. I will talk a little bit about each of the North American teams that competed in the event. Cloud9 and CLG. These guys made the trip to Lithuania. That's got to be pretty exciting. Some of those people, it was their first time there. CLG started out playing in Group A. They played Envy, and they lost 2-1. Then they beat Flipside Tactics, which no surprise there. Then they lost again to Envy 2-1 again. So both times that they played Envy in group play, they were able to take a map. That's a positive sign for CLG, if you ask me. Then when they went to the playoffs, they beat G2, knocked G2 out, beat them 2-1. They won on Dust 2 and Cobble. Then they lost to Dignitas 2-0. Now, it was a really, really close match. The first map was 16-10, second map was 16-14, and really came right down to the wire. But that knocked them out, put them in the consolation match against Astralis. They lost that. Astralis played very well. They lost 16-3, 16-4. And those are two big numbers that Astralis put up against them. I mean, 16-3, 16-4, that's very convincing. That was not a reflection on how well CLG played for the entire weekend. I thought they did really, really well. I thought they showed a lot of improvement. I don't think it's the same CLG team we saw a couple months ago. Now, Group B, Cloud9 was in Group B, and their first match they lost against G2, 2-1. Then they won over Method, which Method, that's no surprise. Then they lost again to G2, 2-0 on the second time around. In the playoff bracket, they lost to the eventual winner, Envy, 2-0, and they were out. Nothing really. They had a couple of good, exciting matches. One of their matches went to overtime. They didn't look horrible, but they didn't look as good as the Cloud9 that we've seen in the past. Now, let's talk a little bit about the stats. Not necessarily the stats, just my overall impressions of the two North American teams. If you do look at the stats, CLG stats are a little bit skewed from the shellacking they took in the consolation game. But like I said earlier, they are not the CLG team that we saw from a couple months ago. It is very apparent that they're listening to their coach. It looks like they had a productive boot camp before they went over, and I think that they're going to improve more and more. I think that they're going to gain momentum in this opportunity that they created. I mean, they played very well. They gave themselves some momentum, and I think they'll continue to build on it. As far as Cloud9 goes, like I said, I didn't think they really played that well. One thing that did kind of stand out to me, though, Stewie 2K, he wasn't a flop. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I don't think that he turned any heads. I don't think he raised any eyebrows. But he did appear as if he's addressing some of the concerns that the community had about him going into Cloud9. He was there. He was a player. He played his role. Pretty solid play. My opinion, he played better than nothing, and he played better than Freakazoid. So that's a plus. And he didn't cause any no drama, no ego problems. I was impressed. It looks like he's moving in the right direction. He has listened to someone along the way. He's listened to someone, and I hope we see good things from him in the future. Now we're going to go through the upcoming matches for professional division, the online matches that we so valiantly watch every week. Tuesday night here in America, we've got Enemy against Renegades, and AGG against Optic. Now I think Optic will win 2-0, very easy. These are best of twos. I think Optic will sweep AGG. Enemy and Renegades, I've went back and forth on this just a little bit, from a split to not a split, from a split to not a split. I think Enemy will sweep them. Renegades played in Taipei a couple weeks ago. Not very impressive, in my opinion. I know they made the finals. I just don't think they played that well. Enemy has done nothing but get better over the last 3, 4, 5 months. I think Enemy takes this 2-0. Then on Wednesday, we've got Complexity against Liquid. It'll be our first chance to see Complexity's great new lineup, and Liquid will beat them 2-0 and never break a sweat, my opinion. And we've also got Enemy against NRG. Enemy playing back-to-back 2 nights in a row. Enemy had a little trouble with NRG the first time they played this team. I think we'll see a split here. There are some things that NRG does that Enemy will have to figure out. Some of it I think they've got figured out. Some more of it I think they'll have to see more of. So I'll call that a split, 1-1. Then on Thursday night, we've got Cloud9 against CLG. I think CLG takes this. And Liquid against Luminosity. This should be a good match. I think LG wins. But I think this will be the first time we really get to see what this new Liquid lineup has in it. Everyone's saying on paper they're the best team in North America. This is the night, Thursday night, against Luminosity. We're going to find out for sure. On the other side of the pond, we've got a ton of matches coming up this week. Tuesday night is Astralis against Na'Vi. I see that going as a split. We've also got SK and Envious. Envy will win that 2-0. Wednesday there is a ton of matches, and some of these are just best of ones. So I'll go through them real quick. G2, Titan, G2, whatever, it's G2 now. They're playing Astralis. I'll take Astralis. Virtus Pro against FaZe. I'll take FaZe. Dignitas against G2. I'll take Dignitas on this one. Then you got Virtus Pro against Ninjas in Pajamas. I'm going with the old guys, Ninjas in Pajamas. Yes, I think VP will start the season out 0-2. You've also got Mouse Sports and FaZe. I'll take FaZe. Fnatic and Astralis. This is the first time this season we've heard the F word, Fnatic. I'm going to take Fnatic in this match. I know they haven't been visible so far in 2016, not a whole lot yet, but they're going to be ready for this. They're professionals. I'm going to take Fnatic in that. And then you've got Envy and Flipside. Obviously, Envy will win that. On Thursday night, back to just 2 different matches, both of them best of 2s. Navi and SK. Navi will sweep that. And Virtus Pro against Fnatic, and I'm calling a split here. I'm calling a split. VP will actually take one of the maps from Fnatic. Fnatic will get the other one. Just a rough prediction there. So that's all the predictions we have. Next, we'll do the buy round segment. Buy round. I am buying on North America, having 4 teams in the 8 teams that qualify for the major in Columbus. There will be 16 teams competing for 8 slots, and I think all 4 of the North American Cloud9, CLG, Liquid, and Enemy, I think they're all going to get in. I just think they will. Let's hope they do. Let's hope they all get in. Let's hope they all play well. Let's hope we see some of them in the semifinals and finals. That's what I'm hoping for. And one thing left here, the save round. I'm saving on Complexity's new lineup. They brought in Def from the UK and Shinobi. That rounds out their roster. I don't see them becoming any more than a middle-of-the-road team that will, probably spend this season getting outskilled, to be completely honest with you. They don't, on paper, I don't think they look good. I have not heard good things about Fraud's performance as of late, in scrims, etc., etc. I don't buy Complexity being any more than what they were last season. We'll see. Time will tell. So that's it for this episode 15 of You Heard It Here. Questions, comments, always welcome. And if any of my predictions come right, just remember where you heard it. You heard it here.